This video is going to be a demonstration about how we install a box gutter liner. What you're looking at is a mock-up that we have in our shop, and here our guys are installing a PVC liner, and they're tucking it up underneath the shingles. Now on a house, this could be a shingle roof, a metal roof, a slate roof a lot of times in historic areas, and they would tuck that up under, and they're going to straighten out the PVC liner. And this is just a demonstration of what it would look like up in the air if they were doing this. They've got the membrane pulled back, and now they're going to set some edge detail or some trims. We use these trims to not only protect the decorative crown molding, you can see the side of it there, but it's also going to hold a colored facer piece, and we use that to match up to the house or building facade that's there. And that can be in any color, so it can match with the rest of the brick or the shutters or the roofing color. So now the piece of trim, which we call the cleat, is installed. And what these guys are going to do next is they're going to pull the membrane over the edge of the cleat, and they're going to use roofing nails, and they're going to tack it off every 6 to 8 inches. So once they get this thing tacked off, they're going to trim the excess membrane to expose the bottom of the metal cleat. And you can see it here. They're getting ready to get their knives out and start cutting the excess membrane away. And there we go. He's going to go ahead and cut that membrane. And he's going to do that so that he can expose the bottom of the cleat, because we're going to need to hook another piece of metal, which is going to be the facer piece, onto the bottom of that cleat. So we need it exposed. And he's got it off now. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this piece of metal that they've got, and that's a facer piece. And like I said, this one's in white, but it can come in about 35 different colors, and it's just going to snap on. It's going to be held on with compression, so it's got a special bend on it. Once it goes off, it won't come back off. So gives a great look to the box gutter, adds a level of trim and protection. What we're going to do now, something special that we offer with our box gutter liners, around the downspout holes. So there's not drains in the sense that there's a commercial roofing drain on a box gutter, and that's where a lot of people have difficulties lining. We don't have that difficulty when we don't have a drain, but we do have a hole. We just have a downspout because we have a boot or a flashing that is specially made for that. And here you can see the flashing that we have for our box gutters. This is a one-piece flashing. It will be hot air welded, as you'll see in a minute, to the rest of the box gutter. But the cone shape of this can come in from an inch all the way up to 20 inch, whatever width the drain is, 6, 8, 10. But mostly it's a 2 and a 3 and a 4 inch. And we're going to slide that down into the downspout of the box gutter. And we'll get up a little bit closer on the video, and you'll be able to see kind of what that would look like. So we've got some wrinkles in there, and at this point I'm telling him to go ahead and adjust it like he would on a job. He's going to use his hammer and push out the PVC. And we'll look back inside. You'll have a pretty good idea of what it's going to, how it's going to drain water. So now this is the section where we're going to do our seaming or our hot air welds. So the green tool in his hand is a handheld hot air welder, and what it does is blows hot air in between the pieces, and we heat up the membrane so that it becomes basically a liquid for a brief, for a brief second. We use that neoprene roller to roll in the liquefied membrane to connect them, similar to like what you would weld a piece of iron. It's the two pieces becoming one, and that's what he's doing there. He's making the two pieces of membrane become one. The important thing about hot air welds for box gutters is that we don't rely on glue or caulking, and that's the important part, because box gutters inevitably hold a certain amount of rainwater, but they also hold a lot of snow and ice. So the seams that are glued down, they don't last. This method right here of doing the seams will last forever. It's a 100% waterproof way to seam membrane together. And that's our video on how we install box gutter liners at Exterior Pro Roofing.